Episode 1 I'm a Mom. Notes from a new mom of 1 week. To find the transcript as well as supplemental photos and videos, look up jinheefilm.wordpress.com. Part 1 I'm a mom. Wow, what a feeling to look at your baby's sweet face. I don't want her to grow up, I cry out smiling as I dramatically embrace her. I lean into her warm newborn smell. She's 4 days old, my husband and mom reply laughing. Yes, what a gift a baby is. Still, being in the first week with a newborn, I catch myself off guard when I see such a tired, swollen version of myself looking back at me when I'm caught on camera with my baby in one of the countless photos we take of her daily to save and send to family. I look sickly. To be fair, I never did well with even less than 8 hours of sleep, but I feel amazing. When I see her face, I forget how tired I really am, and I'm floating in the skies with her and the sparkling stars that watch our wakeful nights. Part 2 I'm lucky and I know it. 태어날 때부터 효도하는 거야. 효도, an important value in Korean culture in action, means taking care of your parents. My mom said, "She's taking care of you even from birth," as I was smiling about how Jian was born on the exact date that I'd guessed she'd be born. At our baby shower, my husband and I had come up with a game where he listed statistics about when babies are born relative to their due date based on information about the mom's history, ethnicity, and more to confuse our friends about when our baby may be born. Then we had them each put stickers on a calendar with their guess. I picked a sticker that said, "I can do it," with the person raising their arms in the air and shooting stars in the background. Then I placed it on the day before her due date. That Saturday seemed best so that she would be closest to her full-term estimate while I would get the most time with her during my maternity leave, which I could already tell would feel so short and precious. Well, lo and behold, she joined us the Saturday that I had guessed before the break of dawn. I grew up knowing about miscarriage because my mom had 3 of them between me and my brother. We are a family unit of 4 with 2 children to my parents, but my mom jokes she has had 5 pregnancies. And it's true. The 3 babies were lost between 8 and 12 weeks after 1 to 2 prenatal visits. My mom is the oldest of 5, and my dad is the first son of 4, and both of my parents had wanted a lot of kids. But after 3 miscarriages, my mom said she stopped thinking about babies. Any baby items they had been saving for the next child were given away. My mom and I are eating breakfast together while Jian is sleeping, and my mom tells me the story again about how when I was 3 to 4 years old, I was always asking for a younger sibling. Every mealtime, if my parents didn't mention a baby in the prayer, I would make them pray again. She laughs, saying my brother was born by my faith and that I need to be responsible for him. I've heard this story a million times, but pregnant me excuses myself from the table to find a napkin to dab my hormonal tears as I feel from my mom's perspective. Even before my husband and I decided to start trying for a baby last November, a close friend of ours had recently a miscarriage, and even just 2 weeks ago, another friend shared that she had a miscarriage. I know this baby is a gift that I feel so lucky to have since I didn't do anything to deserve her, and my heart is filled with thanksgiving. Who knows if it will be this smooth the next time we try to get pregnant? And even with our new family of 3, who knows what the future holds? Health, another sunrise, absence of tragedy, these are not promised to us. Whenever I share with my parents how thankful I am for all the blessings I've been given by God, they advise me to remember and keep them for when life gets hard. No matter the circumstances in life, I want to remember the truth that I am abundantly loved by God, that I can trust Him as my Lord, and that He has already shown abounding evidence. Part 3 Third trimester. Is someone helping you? Before going into labor, my husband and I often marveled at how pregnancy is the most special and at the same time, the most normal part of life. The world population is currently 7.9 billion, and that's not even counting all the people in history, and everyone was born by a woman becoming pregnant and giving birth. And yet it's so crazy how two bodies come together to create life, and how the mother's body grows and sustains that life. Everyone, and I literally mean everyone with the exception of a few people I can count on one hand, commented on how small my belly looked during my pregnancy. Whether they meant it as a compliment or were genuinely surprised, it's not a very helpful comment for a mom who is trying to grow a healthy baby and not a small one. I gained a healthy 25 pounds, and I was also going through all the pains of pregnancy. I may look small to you, and you, and you, but there is a real appropriately sized baby in me. Sometimes I wanted to be sassy and reply, "It's because I have to work so hard for school that I haven't gained more weight." The last 3 months before labor and delivery, I was working on high focus. I completed all my external rotations by having 1 to 2 of them every week for 2 months straight during my 3rd trimester, with most of the community clinics being 2 to 4 hours away in rural areas around the state. Normally, these would be completed over the whole year, and by the time I had finished 10, some people had gone on 1. At 29 weeks of pregnancy, I had an exhausting 12-hour clinic day, and at 31 weeks, I had emesis and diarrhea from the previous week's rotation and had to take leave. When I wasn't away on rotation, I scheduled as many patients as I could and had no empty appointment slots. I wanted to be responsible for my patients' needs while I could, and also get as many graduation requirements done now so I could still be there for my daughter after my short 6 weeks of maternity leave would be over. And I did get a decent amount of requirements done while getting positive feedback from my attendings. Normally, at least a few seniors are scrambling toward the end of the year to find patients who need root canals, but I got to complete 3 of them in the span of 1 week. I had also heard my share of discouraging critiques last year, so the positive feedback made me feel like the world wanted me to be thinking happy thoughts to grow a happy baby in me. One faculty commented in surprise, "Is someone helping you get all these requirements?" I paused and thought to myself, yes, God is. I'm thankful that I got to grow in clinical competency and confidence this past summer, and that I can now take maternity leave with a bit more peace of mind. Part 4. Labor and delivery. It was crazy, but it couldn't have gone better. I didn't think I'd want the baby to come early, but every night starting from 2 weeks before her due date, I went to sleep, excitedly hoping I would wake up in the middle of night with painful contractions signaling it was time to go to the hospital. But alas, every morning I would wake up at the normal time, having no excuse to not go to school. Finally, the week before my due date, I started not filling in available appointments when patients canceled because I didn't know when the baby would come. It was weird having such a free schedule, and I felt antsy like I should be doing more. Going from driving 80 miles per hour to trying to go 15 was an adjustment. "Relax, enjoy," my mom advised me. "You won't get another week like this in your life for the next 20 years. So I tried. I let myself watch a lot of labor and delivery and newborn videos on YouTube, drew a bit during downtime, and played Stardew Valley every evening with my husband. It was fun. On Wednesday, the week before the baby's due date, clinic ended early, so I was able to go with my husband to his campus and even sit in one of his classes. He explained the concepts ahead of time for me on the commute about convexity in the world of statistics, and that helped me kind of follow along, but by 30 minutes into the lecture, I was bored. As I kept looking at the clock throughout the class, I realized I had at least 5 contractions in the last hour, none of them painful. Maybe she would come soon. At least my husband seemed to think so, but I'd been thinking this for a week already and didn't think too much of it. "Yeah, but now it's a few days before the due date," he said, wide-eyed. That night, he went to sleep excited. Beep, beep. My phone alarm went off. What time is it? 6 a.m. It was a normal day to go to work. I sighed and chuckled. I fixed a regular patient's front tooth and scheduled an emergency pain appointment for a classmate's patient. I ended up extracting a molar for him and then went home. That night, we went to sleep early at 8 p.m., and I had a dream where James and I were doing some intense ab workouts. I woke up with really sore abs as dream blended into reality. What time is it? It's dark. 11:35 p.m. 11:35? At that moment, I knew I was having a real contraction and the baby would be coming soon. Just like how pregnancy is the most normal and special thing, labor and delivery is probably one of the most normal parts of life that is at least a little traumatic, even if you had a smooth delivery like ours. I don't have a favorite phrase that I go to for comfort, but I can do it and I will see Chien soon were my mantra for over 12 hours. 4 counts for the breath in, 6 counts for the breath out. I can do it. I will see Chien soon. I can do it. Chien is coming soon. I can do it. I will see Chien soon. And I did it. Chien is now in my arms. Thank you so much to the midwives who helped make the delivery smoother and the nurses and staff who helped us navigate the first 48 hours. I didn't choose them ahead of time, but I wouldn't have had it any other way. Thank you so much to my husband who was using all his muscles to relieve my pain during the contractions and speaking words of encouragement into my ears for hours. You're doing a great job, he told me over and over. Right back at you, my love. Thank you so much to God for this gift of a healthy, happy baby and quick postpartum healing. And thank you, Amma, for carrying me for 9 months, birthing me into the world, raising me in my childhood, guiding me in my youth, and feeding me even now as I feed your granddaughter. I had been praying for Chien to know and to share God's wisdom and grace, that she would have a fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, and live in thanksgiving and praise, which is the response to grace. Truly, like I'd been praying for her with her name, I am filled with a fear of the Lord and thanksgiving and praise to Him. Part 5. Postpartum Blues. I've always been a bit of a crier. If I go a while without any tears, I know I will shed some tears sometime soon. If I don't get enough sleep, I know I am more likely to cry. My senior year of college, I cried abnormally a lot that year, but the postpartum blues during the first week were on another level. Let's go back to the first night home. I close my eyes to sleep. It's a precious moment I know I need to take advantage of. I breathe in and out, and the tears well up. My husband and I are dealing with a change in our newborn's cries on our first day home. They're so loud, so distressed, so constant. Why are you crying? I can hear the distress finally seep into James's quiet whispers in the late hours. His soothing shushes were now tainted with fatigue and frustration. I didn't feel it when we were moving around and comforting her, but now that I've closed my eyes to sleep, I can't stop crying. The bed is empty next to me, and I feel it. I know I'm missing the cuddling time with James before sleep. I think about how strained he looks and feel bad for asking him to have a baby. James hears my whimpers and comes to my rescue. No, don't think that way. He lies next to me to comfort me, though he's already comforting the baby in his arms. Shh, 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 shh. We laugh that he has 2 babies to take care of. The second night, I can't quite pin the cause for the drops trickling down my cheeks. I wouldn't say I'm sad, but my eyes crinkle, my lips wobble, and the tears flow down. A laugh escapes because my whimper sounds like Chien's. I chuckle some more because I'm crying and laughing, and Koreans say you'll grow butt hair when you do that. I'm not sad, but I know my body is tired. I know I'm lacking sleep, and I know my body is raging with the changing postpartum hormones. I know I've been clenching my teeth subconsciously, constantly through the baseline pain of my sore muscles all over my body from the greatest workout my body has gone through of labor and delivery. My vagina and perineum are swollen. My uterus is continuing to contract. and my raw nipples are irritated at the end of every breath by my shirt and also by the blanket. I cry in James's arms and I feel better some, but I still keep crying for a bit more. Gian is sleeping much better even after a full day at home, and we've started to find our routine as a family. I lay down to sleep with James, finally a night my eyes are dry. It's hard to sleep though, because I feel a weight on my chest and tingling in my arms, and we decide to call to ask about the postpartum symptoms I've been having. I'm told I should go to the emergency department right away, or at the very least, see the doctor the very next morning as soon as the clinic opens. I cry. At the appointment, I'm told I need to get a chest CT, which is needed as soon as possible. When I call to make an appointment and find out about costs, I'm told it will be very expensive, and I start crying again while on the phone. James rubs my back with one hand as he is holding Chun with the other. Postpartum blues. Sometimes these tears are for a loss of what used to be normal, a kind of subconscious mourning. Sometimes they're caused by shock of new changes and unexpected situations in all aspects of your person, physically, mentally, emotionally. Being thrown straight from labor and delivery into life with a newborn is undeniably a lot all at once, so some tears flow, and that's okay. Part 6. A lesson from labor and delivery. Contractions towards the end of delivery take all your focus just to endure, and you have no headspace to hear any of your favorite jazz music that is playing in the background or body strength to stop your legs from shaking. You used to be able to cope with breathing, but at some point your breaths began to quiver, and now loud sounds come out from deep within you without your permission. But you know this contraction will pass if you can endure for just 1 minute, and if you just endure this one, you can endure the next one too. And soon there will be no more contractions and only a beautiful baby in your arms. Emotions come and go, and seasons come and go. If you can just endure, the next emotion will come, and the next season will come. With my God and my husband, and now a baby that I love so much in my arms, there is no contraction that I can't endure. I'm only headed to a better place. The mantra and truth I can remind myself of is that I am so, so loved. And this love won't come and go. 지은아, 엄마는 지은이를 너무 사랑해. 지은, 엄마 loves you so much. I'm so happy to see you eating and sleeping well and growing so much even in just this first week. Don't grow up too fast. 사랑해.